94.7 WCSX, Big Jim's House, Big Jim. There's Ryan Logan. And ladies and gentlemen, Jack Huffman in the studio, baby.
Oh, thank you guys.
Ryan want to know, did you walk here or did you drive?
Oh, we drove here this morning.
All right. Jaxwalk, and we've been following this since the very beginning, and we found out about you, had you come in and talk about it. And I remember at the time going, where is this coming from? For folks to understand, you left from, tell everybody how far you walked and the timing of it all.
I left from Dana Point, California on March 14th and walked nearly 3,000 miles to Washington, D.C., and it was 76 days in total.
We were doing the math. That's close to 40 miles a day, right?
Yeah.
And you wanted to do it within 100, right? Is that what we talked about? I was trying to remember that.
We were actually looking to do a little bit less, but just got caught in storms. Helping people change tires on the side of the road.
So wait a minute. You're in the middle of doing this great fundraiser to help out the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund, the Jaxwalk, which again, for people watching this right now, you can still make a donation, get your Seeger shirt as well, because 100% of those proceeds go to the Jaxwalk. And tomorrow, 10 a.m., right?
Yes.
For the shirt, and we're going to cut that off. Keyword Seeger will send you a link. But you're in the middle of doing this all on your own. You don't have a chase team.
No, it's completely
And you're stopping
solo.
and helping somebody change tires on their car.
Yes. Yeah, I helped a semi driver pull the skirting off the bottom of his truck because he was stuck in the middle of the desert, and I'm sure he was surprised that some guy came out with the tools out of the middle of nowhere, like, hey, I got you, buddy. Like, what you need?
Movie stuff.
Yeah.
So we would see the photos, obviously, and we talked. We stayed in touch during this, Jack. But so you had a cart that you were pushing.
Yes.
How much that weigh?
About 150 pounds.
That's everything. That was your whole world right there.
Everything, yeah. So, generators, tents, sleeping bag, medical kit, food, water, wet weather, gear, just, everything.
How many pairs of shoes did you go through this time?
I think we went 7 pairs.
7 pairs of shoes.
7 pairs, about 1 pair about every 10 days.
And you and we've talked about this, and Ryan, we've all talked about this. What was the initial motivation to do this? Where does this fire, this spirit come from?
I mean, it was my own health journey. I was overweight, not eating right, bad eating habits, and just decided to change everything one day. Lost enough weight. It just started with walking a couple miles a day, going to a very clean diet, and then it quickly escalated from 2 miles a day to doing it 2 times a day to doing 4 miles 2 times a day. And before I knew it, I was walking 40 miles a day. And it was always a childhood dream to walk across America. And I was in good enough shape. I was like, if you were ever going to do this, now's the time. And I set out in 2019 from Newport Beach, California, and walked to Tybee Island, Georgia in 79 days for St. Jude's.
And that was the beginning of it.
That was the beginning of it. I had never run a marathon before in my life, never done any kind of 5K, anything.
Where did it come from when you were a kid that this became a dream to walk across the country? Because I feel like
I don't know. That's just one
popped
of those
it.
childhood
Yeah.
dreams. It's like, I'm doing it.
That's cool.
And then learn about the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund here in Michigan and what you're doing.
Tamara and I both sit on the SOW committee, the Salute Our Warriors. They have their event July 12th, but they raise money for the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund. And I had done my walk last year from Florida to Michigan for the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund. And I actually finished that walk at the event last year. So it was 62 days from Florida to Michigan and finished on the day of the event at the event.
That's okay. I can't get my kids to show up on time for dinner, and you timed that out?
Timed it out, 1,800 miles.
God.
What was the toughest point of this walk? Was there a moment, not that you're like, I'm not going to do this, but the one that really tested you?
Probably the Mugian Rim in Arizona. It was probably the steepest climb that I had. There were blizzards coming. It turned into a point to like the steepest part of the climb, no shoulder. It's now dark out at night, and I got to climb this mountain. And there are cars just flying by down the rim. Sue and David Small. David was actually standing on the top of the rim waiting for me. He was a first responder veteran, and he was just waiting for something to happen. So, but he was there ready just in case. He drove 45 minutes to to just come out
Just
there.
to
They
be
brought
there.
me a coat, actually, because, Tamara calls me Two Hoodie Jack. Because it's just a two hoodie kind of day. If it gets real cold, it's just a two hoodie day.
Tamara, we talked. You were nervous about that, right? I do remember that. That was one of those moments, right? That was one of those things. Yeah, you're very nervous about that. Oh, get up on the mic over here. Come on over here. You can come on in. Come on in too. Yeah, right there. Yeah, hop up there.
So I had been contacted and they said, I don't know if you're aware or not, but Jack will not have access to food, water, any kind of lodging once he gets up to the rim. It's closed through May 1st. I'm like, I'm sorry, come again? May 1st? And by the way, there's a blizzard coming. And I'm like, oh, he should have taken that coat I asked him to take. I'm like, darn it, Two Hoodie Jack. He's Two Hoodie Jack, But I ended up reaching back out. I gathered a bunch of resources. This is where everybody started showing up, like across the country. It really is where it started. And I just started reaching out to all of these businesses, a lot of which were closed, and just said, I'm like, there has to be a way. And we found a way, and we made a way through the people. And Sue and David, there were so many people, it's hard to just say them, but that day I reached out to her. I'd been in contact with her and just asked, is there any way that I can get Jack a coat? I was happy to pay for it, but I couldn't get it to him, right? Because I saw on the top of the weather on the rim, it's snow. It's already snow. Blizzard's coming. No supplies, they said, through May 1st. And so now I'm feeling a little bit panicked.
And Jack, you don't know any of this, right?
I initially told Tamara that all it was a 9 out of 10.
The road,
as far as
danger
danger
on the
level.
road.
That's all you want. You
trying
wanted to
keep
work.
it low.
Okay, you're
Low.
trying to keep it low key.
I was like, it's a 9 out of 10. Don't worry
didn't
about
know.
I
it.
get this. Yeah.
He didn't know. I finally had to tell him. I was like, I don't want to tell him until I have a plan. But he had to be part of the plan because he needed to conserve water and conserve food. And anything he saw on the way, he needed to stop and pick up. I couldn't identify anything at that point, but I called you and said, we have a little bit of a situation. And I felt like he'd survive it, but not without frostbite. And, I was a little worried about it.
And it was definitely a rough night. I made it to the top of the, I think it was like the nature or the viewing area at the top of the mountain, and the wind is just blowing. It's got to be like 0 degrees up there. I'm just in a tent, and I mean, it was a very cold night, even with a coat.
So Jack Huffman with us, Jaxwalk, just almost 3,000 miles across the country to raise money for the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund. Your support, what you're doing. And by the way, people go, well, the State of Seeger shirt that you guys are selling, who's it for? This guy. Because of what you've done, you motivated us. And when we shared your story with Bob Seeger's management and everybody, they went, yeah, let's do this. So they authorized this shirt for 1 week. Now, the keyword is Seeger. You've got till tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you're on Facebook Live right now, you should see the link up there as well. Or again, just text us if you're listening in your car, wherever you're at. Keyword Seeger, 248-398-9279. We'll send you a link. You scroll down to the bottom. There's a form right there. And the shirts are going all over the country, dude.
I love that.
Yeah. And we don't know what the final total is going to be. We'll find out from Tom 10 a.m. tomorrow, but it's been an amazing response. We've sold well over 800 shirts already.
That's incredible.
And $10 out of every shirt is going to go to you, to the fund, directly to the fund for the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers. So God bless you for doing this, man.
Well, thank you. I mean, it was quite an adventure.
So what's next?
You're really too soon. We can't.
Well,
What are you thinking?
I mean, I have a bunch of ideas. We just have to kind of see where it goes. But
Not over that rim in Arizona. I mean, we're done with that. I mean,
I've done that,
a couple times now.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Do you know, Tamara, what he's thinking about? That little Cheshire Cat grin we just got?
About. So here's what he's thinking about. He's thinking he shouldn't say one more word until he talks to Tamara. That's what Jack's thinking about.
I love that. Hey, are you walking for charity? Nope, just got kicked out of the house. Yeah. That grin, though, man. Hey, congratulations. Everybody, we were following your journey the entire time. And then you didn't have to do this, and it's absolutely amazing. We have a certificate of authenticity here. This is certified. This is one of the 40 challenge coins of the traveler Jack E. Huffman, Jax, on his world record run across America. The Sundog Run started March 14th from Dana Strands, California to the Capitol Building in Washington, D.C., Maryland. And you gave us number 24.
Number 24. This is your 24th year here
Here
at
at CSX.
isn't it?
This is going to be part
Jim,
of this
we wanna
studio
thank
forever.
You for your service, and you came on board right at the beginning, and put all of this out here. And you and Ryan came up with the idea about the Bob Seger shirt, and all of that money is going to go towards the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund for our veterans, and we just cannot thank you enough
Are you kidding
for
me?
doing that and for having us back.
Oh.
And-
You're part of you're stuck with us now.
Yeah.
You're definitely you got
Well,
keys to the house.
We love
Yeah.
you. So
Well, we love you guys too, and what you've done. Ryan and I always talk about one of the things with the show is trying to find. I think so many men and women listening right now, we're always looking for ways to say thank you to veterans. That's our Thank You Luncheon, our Thank You Fridays that we do, and to say thank you to what you've done and an expression of your love for the men and women who served through this walk. Unbelievable, man.
well, it's not over.
I got goosebumps. That's right.
It's not over, Jim. We're still raising funds, and we'll always continue to support our veterans and
Yep.
keep posting and keep everybody updated. And we'll sometime later in the week be talking about the event coming up and that kind of thing.
Real okay. So JAXWALK, Jaxwalk.com. Best way to get hold of you.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah,
I see
that
you
on
walking by
Facebook
my
as
house,
well,
that means
too.
you're in trouble. Okay.
No.
What was the last thing? Was there anything as far as I know your diet and everything, but when you got back, when you got to DC, was it sleep, shower, just decompress? How did you process that? Because you're alone for 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mentally, what did you do?
I mean, I don't know. Just kind of took it all in. It never really stopped. You know, out in America, it's life at 3 miles per hour living in the fast lane.
Wow. Okay.
There you go.
Well, I just stole that, or you wrote a country album. I'm not sure, but man, that's so you processed it as you go, and you
Tamara
could just.
and I walked around DC, and we went and just kind of.
You took a walk, Tim?
Yeah, walking
Really?
tour
Had to go
after.
for a walk.
We were joking about that. They're really going to take a walk. You
We
took
really
a
did.
walk.
We took a walk around DC.
Okay.
Yes.
A leisurely stroll.
Just a leisurely stroll.
That was the following day. He'd rested.
Okay.
I
Jack.
fed him well.
Okay. God bless you guys both for what you're doing here. And again, folks watching, you've got till 10 a.m. tomorrow, the State of Seeger shirt to support Jack's Walk. Keyword Seeger will send you a link right to your phone, and then 248-398-9279. You'll see it on there. But please, anything you can do, and we'll definitely stay in touch. You're the best.
Sounds good.
All right.
You guys are the best. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.